Lie to You, the show with naked truths and well-dressed lies. On Lee Mack's team tonight, a stand-up comic making her WILTY debut, it's Shazia Mirza. And he's escaped from inside number 9, comedian and gentleman, Steve Pemberton. And on David Mitchell's team tonight, waltzing in from the Strictly studio, it's Motsi Mabuse. And shake your maracas for the happy Monday's one and only Bez. So, to round one, Home Truths, where our panellists read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. And Motsi is first up.
Ooh, let's go. I wrote a text moaning about my Strictly Dance partner, then accidentally sent it to my Strictly Dance partner.
Good Lord, Lee's team.
Who was the Strictly Dance partner?
Gilder Horn. So that I live in Germany, and he was my first Strictly partner.
So this is a German celebrity?
Yes, a
Gilder
singer.
Horn. He's not in the
Gilder-
adult film industry.
It's a quite famous man.
What's he famous for?
Singing. He's singing. It was my first year as a dancer on the German show, and it was actually a text before a very important competition, Blackpool, and I was really stressed out.
Blackpool?
Yes.
Does German Strictly get to Blackpool as well?
No.
I mean, because that would be insane. I don't know why we go to Blackpool. The idea of people all over the world going to Blackpool.
All dancers go to Blackpool.
What did the text say?
Oh. I wrote something like, he's not great, and I'm so glad that this is over soon, and then I'll be stress-free for the rest of my life.
But then you sent it to him?
I sent it to him, and he was standing in front of me.
Why didn't you just tell him?
He asked me the same question.
How long had you known him at this point?
2 weeks.
So you were 2 weeks into the training?
Yes.
And who were you sending it to, the text, or you thought you were sending it to?
To my dance teacher, because he was asking me, how are you keeping up?
Did you realise the moment his phone pinged?
No, I realised when he came to me.
Which was when? Straight away or in...
Straight away.
Wow, that's German and efficient, isn't it?
And what did he say?
He's like, thanks.
So how are things between you now, then, after this event?
We became intense friends because once the truth is out, it's out.
Lots of people become intense friends on Strictly, don't they?
No.
And how did you do ultimately, and how far did you go? I'm in the competition.
We were 5th. Not bad, right?
Not bad at all. What do you think, Shazia?
I think there's some truths in it, but it's generally a big lie.
What about you, Steve?
Yeah, there's a few things that don't quite add up for me. I'd go lie.
Think lie.
It's a lie.
OK, well, I'll go lie as well.
You're going to say that it's a lie?
Yeah.
OK, Motsi, it's a lovely story, but is it true or is it a lie?
Well, it's true.
It's true. Motsi accidentally sent a text to her dance partner. Steve, you're next.
As a child, my parents would only let me watch ITV if I put a blanket over my head when the adverts came on.
David's team.
Interesting. What was the reasoning?
First of all, I wanted to buy the things that were on the adverts, and I would pester them if it was food, if it was fizzy drinks, if it was toys, whatever was advertised.
In those days, cigarettes, alcohol. What age would you have been then when this was happening?
Well, I'd been about sort of 8 or 9.
And was it just you? I mean, were there siblings?
Yeah, I've got 2 brothers, and
So they'd have blankets on their heads as well?
We would share, like a duvet cover.
We're tough up north, we had to share one blanket between 3 of us. When my mum used to cover our heads so we wouldn't buy out.
Who would be administering the blanket?
My mum or my dad would be, you know, the babysitter, they were told. That was our
Babysitter?
Yeah. There was one night I remember particularly, our cleaner was our babysitter, Mrs. Williams. She was quite elderly. She was told by my mum to, if we pressed number 3 on the remote control, she'd cover our eyes. She didn't get it, so she came and she held the blanket in front of the television, and this became a revolutionary new way of not watching the television.
So you had a remote control?
It was one of those on a wire. And the worst thing, we used to record programmes on a VCR, and we had to fast forward through all the adverts when we were watching.
With the blanket or without the blanket?
This was post-blanket times.
Bez, what do you think?
Well, it's that outrageous. It's got to be true.
What do you think, Motsi?
I've been watching your mom the whole time, and she seems just as surprised as us. I'm gonna say it's not true.
Steve's mum is in the front row of the audience.
Yeah. She's not my real mum.
All right, David, what are you going to say?
Do you think it's a lie?
I just think it's a lie.
Yeah, and you think it's true?
I think it's
This is what I
definitely
call a nightmare scenario. I suddenly think, of course, it's absurd. Putting a blanket over a child's head. No, it's a lie.
OK, you're saying it's a lie. Steve, was it the truth or was it, in fact, a lie?
Well, guys, it was a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Steve's parents didn't make him put a blanket over his head when the adverts came on. Bez, you're next.
I once spent 8 hours at Glastonbury searching for my teeth.
Well, you certainly got them back.
That's it. Found him, obviously.
So, hang on, you're at Glastonbury. Now, when is this?
Well, I'd say 89 or something like that.
Oh,
99.
so height of the rave culture.
Yeah, yeah.
First of all, how can you lose your teeth? That's the obvious question.
Well,
to ask.
because I have dentures.
What age did you lose your teeth?
At a very young age, at 16.
Wow.
1989, you had no teeth apart from dentures. And how old were you in 1989?
I can't remember now.
Well, tell us when you were born and we'll work it out.
1964.
You were born in 64.
I'll take it, 25. When did you realise that you didn't have your teeth in?
Well, I went to take a bite of a donut.
It took you to eat before you realised.
I tried to bite a donut, like, something's gone on here, you know what I mean?
How many of the teeth?
The top set.
The top set?
Yeah, yeah,
Could
still
you
had the
not
bottom set
feel
in.
that you had no teeth in?
Well, no, because I was at Glastonbury, and obviously... At the same time, my friend was searching for his sunglasses. I found his sunglasses, and my friend actually found my teeth, and he had him on a necklace round his neck and was
On a necklace?
Yeah, he found my teeth, and he made a necklace out of them.
Did he know they were your teeth when he found them?
He had absolutely no idea. He just thought it was a great decorative piece.
Did you recognise them straight away? Those are my teeth.
As soon as I seen them, I went, they are mine.
How could you tell they were yours?
Well, I recognised the smile.
Did it definitely happen? I believe that you think it happened. But did it happen, Bez? Because we had Sean Ryder on this show once, and he claimed that he taught his cat to wink.
I was actually there when he did it.
Wow.
Wow, this is an incredible story.
Steve, what do you think about this?
I'm struggling with the timeline because I think if you'd lost your teeth, someone would tell you you'd lost your teeth.
Shazia?
How can you communicate with people when you've got no teeth?
That's when I really realised, you know what I mean, when you're talking, like, it's all spraying out your mouth, you know?
Yeah.
That's what certainly, every time anyone's showered me with spittle, I've immediately started a search for their teeth.
Right, it's time to decide. What's it going to be?
It's a lie.
How do you do that without moving your lips? Absolutely brilliant, that.
It's a lie.
I believe it. I think it's true.
I think it's the kind of story, if anybody else said it, I'd go, you can't lose your teeth for 8 hours and not know.
Yeah.
Then you add word bez into it, and you go, maybe. Do you think it's a lie?
It's a lie.
I'll concede. I'll go lie then.
Oh, I'd just like to say true.
Oh, no!
We'll go lie. We'll go lie.
Lie.
Saying
Go-
lie.
Go for a lie.
OK, they
Go
say it's
for
a lie. Bez, was it a lie, or was it, in fact, the truth?
It was actually the truth.
It's true. Bez did spend 8 hours at Glastonbury looking for his teeth. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. This week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest. And it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Louise. So, Shazia, what is Louise to you?
Well, this is Louise, and she's the bride that I gave a black eye to on her wedding day.
Steve, how do you know Louise?
This is Louise, and one morning she thought she'd discovered my corpse.
And finally, Lee, what is your relationship with Louise?
This is Louise. We once modelled as a happy, carefree couple in a sales brochure for caravans.
So there we have it. David, where will you begin?
Shazia, so it was her wedding day.
Yes.
Did you know her?
Yeah, I used to work with Louise.
So how did it happen?
We were in the church, and there was about 200 people there.
Yeah.
Then, at the end, all the guests came out first, and we all had confetti. And I was holding my mobile phone. And as they were coming out of the church, the photographer shouted, "Oh, throw the confetti." I just got really excited and I threw the mobile phone. And the mobile phone hit Louise in the eye.
And what happened?
I didn't realise, actually, that my phone had gone.
I was thinking more about her than...
Well, there was a bit of a delay, and then Louise just went, "Ah!" And it was where the phone had hit her face.
Yes,
And she just went, "Oh, that hurt, that hurt." Everybody was like, "Are you OK? Are you OK?"
Did everyone repeat everything twice?
I didn't realise that I had thrown the phone. I just went, "What? Are you OK? You know, are you OK? Are you OK?" Then I saw my phone on the floor.
Yeah?
And I was like, "Oh, my God, that's my phone." I went, "Oh, my God, that's my phone."
Yeah.
And I'm,
Too many repeats on the BBC.
And I said, "Oh, my God, Louise, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Are you OK? Are you OK? She said, "I'm fine, I'm fine." I didn't think it was that serious.
Yeah, how does she behave during the reception?
Because I've known her for quite a long time. She said, "Oh, don't worry about it."
OK, Louise forgives you. How do other people behave to you at the reception? Because you are the person
they were
that outside
fine.
the church chucked a phone at the bride's eye.
They were fine about it because they knew I wouldn't do that on purpose and ruin the wedding day.
Who would?
Well,
You say that like that's a good trait you've got. Lovely woman, Shazia. Oh, absolutely lovely. The kind of woman who would never throw a phone deliberately at a bride's face. Oh, that's lovely.
Who would you like to quiz
Steve, so your story is that Louise discovered what she thought was your corpse.
Yes.
So what was it?
It was me pretending to be dead.
Why would you pretend to be dead?
Tax.
I write with my friend, Rhys Shearsmith, and we, every morning when we go to our office, whoever arrives first pretends to be dead, so that when the other one comes in, they go, "Oh, my goodness, you're dead." And it's just a funny way we like to start our day.
So on this day, you'd arrive first.
I'd arrive first, because we arranged to meet, say, 10-ish or 10:30-ish. So I took my belt off and put it around my neck. I undid my trousers and I put my laptop across my chest like this. And I had my eyes closed and the door opened and I heard a scream. And it was Louise. It wasn't Rhys.
It's only right that I say at this point that obviously putting a belt around your neck isn't a good idea. Stick with your waist.
And did you previously know Louise?
Yeah, Louise is landlady of our office, so...
The landlady of your previous office. So it is.
Yes.
So you're lying there, you hear the scream. What happens then?
Louise disappears pretty sharpish, and I sort of have to try and pull my trousers up and sort of toddle after her and say, it's just a game that me and Reese do. We...
Well, that doesn't make it any better.
That's worse, Steve.
Let me ask you, Steve, is this something that you've carried on, you and Reese?
We have carried on, although we've graduated now to other things.
Such as?
The story does not get better.
No. The new one is urinating in the corner of the office. It's a very new one. We're just trying it out.
So the idea is that whichever of you comes to the office last, there's some sort of tableau of either death or urination.
Exactly, you get it, you understand.
And this is while you're writing inside number 9.
That's what kicks us off into our day, yeah.
Lee.
Just remind us of your statement.
This is Louise, and we once modelled as a happy, carefree couple for a caravan brochure.
When did this happen?
This happened in the late 80s.
Pre your enormous celebrity.
Don't mock.
What? No. OK, sorry. Pre your moderate celebrity.
Correct.
OK, so why you?
Because they wanted to say that caravans were for younger people than had traditionally been buying caravans.
OK, why didn't they get a model?
What are you trying to say, Dave?
Someone
just
who
get
is more
straight-
conventionally attractive than you.
Because you weren't available.
All right,
That's the way to get
true.
killing with kindness.
OK, what was the brand of caravan you were advertising?
There wasn't a brand, it was a man that sold caravans.
Oh, for a
So it's
dealership?
A dealership,
What
yeah.
was the name of the dealership?
I think it was called Brown's.
Brown's Caravan.
Not to be... I think he used to call it Brown Caravans, but then he realised that's confusing because they only come in white. So he added the S.
Where were the caravans when you were photographed in and around them?
What part of the country?
Where were they parked? In the showroom? Was it on, you know, with a nice holiday setting with a view of the sea? Or
It was in a showroom and on a nice holiday setting with a view of the sea. And it was in Tenby, South Wales.
What were you doing in Tenby?
I'm not going through it again.
A photo shoot. So you've travelled. You've travelled. Did Brown's Caravans organise the transport to Tenby?
I was already living there. I was a holiday host at the caravan site for the people on holiday.
OK.
And the showroom man who sold caravans said, would you take part in the photo shoot with one of our sales assistants? Because it was fairly, you know, it was caravans, it wasn't yachts.
Was that the slogan?
Can you remember any of the poses that you had to strike?
Oh, yeah.
Could you recreate them for us?
Yes. Can I use Louise in this?
No, you cannot.
Oh. Well, it's going to look like one of us is making more effort to sell the caravan. There was a various poses. I remember this one. They said, can you just make it sort of look like you're not being photographed? And obviously I'm a good actor, so I just sort of went...
What else did they ask of you?
They said, pretend you're cooking but having fun. So I did that, but then I'd sort of go...
What about putting it up?
Putting it up? You're thinking of a tent. This is a caravan.
No. I'm thinking outside a nice caravan, there'll be an awning.
Well, sorry if this gets too technical, but yeah. It used to take ages, sorry about this, but you did ask me.
And what about the
I
bedroom?
haven't finished yet. I'm locking it in place. Put down the safety poles, I'm not an idiot.
OK. Did you have any...
It's raining now, isn't it? Your fault, that.
Did you...
Wait.
Did they want you to do anything in the bedroom?
Yes. They wanted to suggest, get your caravan, have a bit of romance in it.
So what was the pose you struck that summed that up for them?
We lay on the bed like this, and you've got to imagine... what's her name again?
Louise.
Louise. You've got to imagine... Well, it was just a one-night stand, wasn't it, Louise? She said, how do you want us to do it? And they said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, do you want to sort of post? You know, like... after the event, shall we say.
Oh, I see.
So we tried that at first. Then they said, maybe you look like you're just cuddling up. But it's nice, so I sort of went like that, and I may have draped a leg. And then they said, what about spoon? And so we did a little spoon at one point like that. You can't spoon, can you? What do you do with the right arm? I've never known. What do you do with the right arm when you're spooning? Possible, isn't it? So they got a one-armed man in for that shot, and then...
All right, we need an answer. So, is Louise Shazia's bruised bride, Steve's frightened friend, or Lee's caravanning companion?
I mean, they all sound really, really bad. If you know... if any one of them is your friend, get some new friends. Oh, wow. I'm slowly starting to believe the story with the phone.
The phone?
Yeah.
I can definitely believe that story.
But I actually quite believe Steve as well.
I do. I
wow.
think Steve's plausible.
I think that's the sort
They
of...
do look like a couple, look.
so you believe the caravan story?
Yeah.
So do you think they're all true?
I believe them all.
I think that the pose of death that Steve struck, I think, is very much his sense of humour.
Yeah.
He did one pose and you believe him. I did about 7. And you don't believe any of them.
That was the problem.
If you had to decide...
I would go for Lee's story.
You'd go for Lee's.
Yeah.
You think it's Shazia.
Yes.
I think it's Steve. So I might have to just go with what I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
OK, we'll go Steve.
Right. Louise, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Louise, and I thought I'd discovered Steve's corpse.
Yes, Louise is Steve's frightened friend. Thank you very much, Louise. Which brings us to our final round, Quickfire Lies, and we start with... Shazia.
When I worked as a teacher, I got called to the headmaster's office for bunking off school.
David's team.
Well, I mean, this is more serious than bunking off school, isn't it? You're in breach of contract.
Where was this, Shazia? Where was the school?
It was in East London.
Right. And when are we talking about? Which period?
About 2000 to 2010. It wasn't every day.
What would you do when you bunked off?
I wanted to really be a pop star. So I decided that I needed to go for some singing lessons.
Oh, so ironically, you were being educated
Yeah.
during the period when you were, you know...
I do believe in education.
Yeah.
What were you a teacher of?
Science.
Science? You don't expect it of a science teacher, do you?
Well, they weren't really interested in science, and neither was I. So I thought if they're bunking, then if I just do a few bunks.
Just a few times.
I found a really great singing teacher, but he could only teach between 11 and 3.
So how many days a week?
I'd go twice a month.
Between 11 and 3, twice a month, with no explanation, the science lessons, no teacher came. And they were just left with all the hydrochloric acid, the Bunsen burners to work it out for themselves.
Now, how did you get caught?
Well, as I said, I wanted to be a pop star, so I wrote to Kylie Minogue's manager. And I said that I...
Can't get you out of my head.
So I said that I'm doing a showcase of my singing talents, and would you be able to come and see me? And I wrote this letter on the school computer, and the letter got stuck in the printer. And I phoned in sick and went off to the audition, and somebody found it in the printer.
Who found it in the printer?
It was another science teacher called Doctor Who. He's Chinese. And...
Was his classroom bigger on the inside than the outside?
And he gave it to the head teacher.
And then what happened?
I went to school the next day, and the head teacher called me into his office and said, I know where you were yesterday.
What did you say?
I said, where was I? He said, I know where you were. I said, well, you tell me where I was. And there was a standoff for about an hour. It went on. He said, well, I said, well, you tell me where I was. He said, I know where you were. I want you to tell me where you was.
He said, I know where you was. I hope he wasn't an English teacher.
It was the East End in 2002. It was rough. And then he whipped this letter out and he went, look at this.
Oh.
I went...
You trying to get a cat?
And it was like the kids, how they argue with the teachers.
Yeah.
And I went, well, what are you going to do about it? He says, I'm giving you a warning. I said, well, go on, then.
What does Motsi think of this?
Oh, I think it's a great, great story. I would have loved a teacher like you.
One that doesn't turn up.
Do you know what, David? My students actually did really well.
Well, that supply teacher must have been fantastic. So, what are we going to say?
Oh,
What's
I
it going
have
to be?
absolutely no idea. I'm bewildered. What do you think, Bez?
Well, it's got a ring of truth to it, but I've got a funny feeling it might be a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all think it's a lie, but there's a lot to it.
That you're going to say lie.
We have to, or we can't move on with our lives.
They're saying lie. Shazia, was it a lie or was it, in fact, the truth?
I'm afraid it was true.
It's true. Shazia did bunk off school when she was a teacher. Well, that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show, and I can reveal that Lee's team have 1 point and David's team have 4. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.